Now, Italy's next president has been decided, and it will be more of the same. Sergio Mattarella has agreed to stay on for a second term after lawmakers failed to find a consensus after 6 days of voting in the parliament. Political divisions have fueled instability across the Italian government in recent weeks, and Mattarella has been under pressure from various parties to remain in the role. Well, for more on that story, we're joined by correspondent Seema Gupta in Rome. Seema, thanks for joining us. Now, we've just heard the news. After 6 days of unsuccessful voting, Mattarella has agreed to stay on in that role. How did the Italian parliament reach this point? Give us a bit of background.
Well, as you mentioned, it's been several days since the 24th of January. The parliament has been gathering to carry out this process. It's over 1,000 parliamentarians and regional delegates that have to make this choice. Initially, it required a two-thirds majority, but by Thursday, it was clear that they had to move on to the simple majority. And the point is, the parliament is very fragmented, and the center-right bloc or the center-left bloc, neither one has that necessary number of a simple majority of 505 votes. So they needed to find a consensus candidate, someone that everybody could get behind, or at least 505 of the voters could get behind. And no one could come up with that consensus candidate. And so essentially, because of this, they've decided to come back to what is the current status quo. That is Sergio Mattarella as the president. And let's not forget, Mario Draghi remains as the leader of this big coalition in parliament as the prime minister. Initially, it was thought that Mario Draghi could take on the role of president, but instead, they've preferred to go with the status quo, considering the economic situation that the country is in, but also in dealing with the pandemic. And so finally, we have this situation. Of course, the parliamentarians will be carrying out that very number 8, the 8th vote that is being carried out that begins right now in parliament. But we do expect all parties, we're going to see Mattarella reach beyond that 505 quota that's required to become the president yet again.
Now, Mattarella is an experienced politician. He's 80 years old. He served in various ministerial roles. Why is he the man that everyone can agree on right now?
Well, right now is simply because this is the status quo. With these divisions within the parliament, this was the situation they could stick to, so that Mario Draghi is also there as prime minister. Italy, of course, needs to put in place those reforms in order to get that money, the EU post-pandemic recovery fund money, billions of euros that are supposed to come in to change the landscape of this country. And the stability that Mario Draghi provides will see that forward. And if Mattarella continues in that post, it's pretty much status quo for all the parliamentarians. The other issue that these parliamentarians were concerned about is if Mario Draghi had taken on that role of president, who was going to be prime minister? And there was concern about a snap election. And nobody wanted that because of the stability that is necessary in the country. And nobody wanted that as far as the parliamentarians are concerned, is that this could mean they could lose their jobs. So lots of issues at play. The other issue to remember is that this voting process is a secret ballot. So even party leaders cannot be sure that their party members will vote according to party lines, as it's a secret ballot. So at the moment, it seems that everyone has gotten behind the candidate of Sergio Mattarella with the hope and what they've been promised that you'll have Mario Draghi continuing as the prime minister.
Thank you very much for that, Seema Gupta, reporting for us from Rome.